Welcome, everybody. Maureen, Charlie, Sherwin, welcome, welcome. Beautiful.
Should have a
It,
few more trickle in and I'll mute
yeah.
now.
Yeah, let's give it a, well, we're at 2 o'clock, so I
Yeah.
can I can start and I'll keep my eyes on the room.
Yep. I'll
Beautiful.
let you take it away.
Okay, thank you, my man.
Thank you.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Here we are, March. We're all excited for the spring market. It's coming. It's coming. It's gonna be a great spring, right? And today I wanted to, we're going to be sharing some ideas around leadership. And just let me check on here. I'll get the room. I'm here. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Open up the meeting room. All right. So I'll just keep an eye on the weight room right now. And just before we jump in, I'd love to hear right now any win that you've had, any real estate win you've had in the last 30 days. Type in the chat for me any listings, how many buyers, how many listing contracts side, open houses, any win. I always like to shift the energy when we start a call and focus on the good. In all my coaching calls, I say, tell me something good. So we're going to start with any wins that you've had. And even if it's a personal win, actually, if there's something that you feel is been powerful for you that you want to celebrate, yeah, let's use the chat because I'm going to invite you to step into and become this leader that you need to be to achieve and have your best year ever. So as I invite you to do things, you can either make a note for yourself and or comment in the chat. And what that does is it causes your mind to slow down and start to listen to what's being said and participate. Because we do have a saying, how you show up here, you show up everywhere. So I want to share some ideas to help you focus on your leadership and becoming the biggest and best leader that you can in the next 90 days. That's going to be the focus. Working on a listing presentation, powerful. And there's a lot of more listing presentations coming, right? We're working on the listing presentations. We're working on attracting our ideal clients to us on a regular basis. And leadership is a big part of that. So leadership in my mind is at the foundation of everything we do. So as we go through this, I'm going to ask again for some participation, commenting in the chat for your benefit and everybody else. Because sometimes somebody makes a comment in the chat and it triggers an idea in your mind and boom, you go on a mental trip. And those ideas are what comes through being in the right environment and the right culture. So thank you for showing up today. And if you do have questions as we're going through, just drop them in the chat. I may not see them through the feed. However, I want to make sure I leave a little bit of space at the end to answer any specific questions that you may have. And I do have an opportunity for everybody as well. So my name is Jamie Purvis, and I wanted to thank Maureen and Jason for the opportunity to be here today. I'm very grateful for what the market is providing right now. And why I say that, because it is a different market. And this is a market that is exposing people, it's exposing skill set, and at the same time, it's exposing opportunities to step into your next level of success and identity. And what does that even mean? So it is at the foundation of the BeDoHave movement. So my name is Jamie Purvis. I've been in the real estate space. It'll be 40 years in July of this year. Shocking to say that. It does go fast. We always hear old people saying that, right? Things go fast. Yet it's I've learned so much over the years. So I was a top realtor. I built out a real estate team with my partner. We did over 80 transactions a year. Then I left selling, stepped into leadership, and became a team leader at Keller Williams office downtown Toronto, and grew that office to be number one in Canada for 3 years, and left and walked away from everything to follow my dream, which was to start the BeDoHave movement. My business partner is my daughter, and we are a business realtor life coaching company, and we work with people to help them shift their identity, applying strategy so you ultimately have a bigger and better life based on what it is that you want to achieve. Today's session is framed around the Repeatable Revenue Roadmap program. This is a program that we've created for realtors to help them build their success from 100 to 300,000 a year. And we framed it, and it's a program that you can join as a community in the coaching and or actually buy the digital version of the program. This session today is one of the sessions. We're tapping into the leadership session. So we're here to help you develop your leadership, first of all, so that you have a better and bigger business this year, and embodying that whole philosophy. What does that even mean? Because we want more consistency in our business. And I think that's probably pretty true right now more than ever. Everyone I'm talking to I'm hearing the same thing over and over again. I was on a podcast yesterday with 6,500 realtors across the US, and two things that came up. Number one, the market. Everyone's framing it around the market. And the second thing is connection. People aren't feeling connected. So how do we as a leader help ourselves and our business grow in this market and become better connected with everybody, our clients, our office, our leadership in our office? How do we do that? Before I jump into the actual leadership strategies, this is the foundation. This is where we start to slow down and start to imagine success before it's even happened. We have a philosophy and we base it on the actor's method, the actor's technique, which is whereby we use our imagination and we imagine our goals are already achieved, and then we work backwards from the goal. It's the same strategy that actors use when they get a script, they read the script, they memorize the script, and then they internalize the script so that at a point in time when the director says action, those actors are now living the identity of the person that's in the script in the movie. So how do we do that as realtors? Because we get caught up in the actions, the strategy. We have to do this. We need social media. Jason was just mentioning that, right? We need these things in our business, online leads, our database, like all the doing. How we break through our current level of success by being a great leader is we have to have clarity in decision on moving forward. So what we do is we first of all have to make a decision on where you see yourself in the future. And we're going to do that with our imagination. And with everyone's permission, I'm going to invite you to join me on this. So if you're driving, you can't do this next step. If you're not driving, I'd like everyone to just close their eyes for a minute and imagine your business 90 days from today. So 90 days from now, future pacing our life. Imagine your business 90 days from now. How much income will you have created over the previous 90 days? And we frame it around the affirmation, the declaration. I'm so happy and grateful now that I've achieved $75,000 in income over the past 90 days. Pick your number. Whatever your number is, you pick your number. So I invite everyone to type in the chat if you're open to it, or write down for yourself, what is your decided future income 90 days from today? You're gonna, again, it doesn't matter to me when you get paid, deals written. How many transactions are you going to write so that you have income coming in 90 days from now? This is where we have to get crystal clear on a number. And I'm just framing it around 90 days, 15K in referrals. Thank you, Jason. I'm just framing it around 90 days because I don't want to get caught up in too far in the future, because sometimes we lose momentum. We don't get into action because we have a lot of time. If we can scale it back and focus on 90 days, you could literally change your life in 90 days. So 15,000, 20,000. Now, my first question would be, would that be over the 90 days or per month, every month for the 90 days? And I'm just framing things because I want you to start thinking bigger. Ultimately, you make your decision. So you have to have your number that's real for you. We need a real number. And for everyone else, please make sure you write your number down. because our mind thinks in pictures. If we don't have a picture and we just say more income, we have no idea where we're going. That doesn't mean anything to our mind. 30K within 90 days. Beautiful. Thank you very much. You've got clarity now. We've got the decision. We've made the number real. The reason I asked you to close your eyes, when we close our eyes, we can't be distracted. And that allows you to then go into and embody your intuition, your subconscious. One of the biggest challenges we all face as leaders is we get stuck in our logical mind, and the answers for most of our next level success comes from within. It's those things that we deep down know and maybe we're not doing. So if we can embody that and allow that to become the leader as we move forward, it's going to be amazing how fast this business shows up. Because I can basically tell you, everybody that wrote down a number in the chat, you could do that in the next 30 days. That's a 90-day number for you. You could also do that in 30. And the minute we believe that's possible, so that leads us to step 2, we have to believe that the goal that we've written down is our reality. We have to believe it's happening. There's no doubt. And what keeps everybody stuck is when doubt shows up, it allows us to recede and stay stuck. So we have to build that belief deep down inside to know that that money is coming, the deals are coming. I may not even know where it's coming from, and that's okay. The irony is you don't need to know how. We just have to decide and believe it. So the belief is something that your opportunity as a leader is to constantly build and hold on to that every single day. And one strategy is to think back in time in life when you've achieved a goal, no matter what that goal was. You achieved a goal. You can go back in time in your mind and feel that feeling when the goal was achieved. And for everybody here, we're in a realtor workshop. So the day everybody got their real estate license was a goal achieved. Go back to your mind, and that feeling is the exact same feeling when you achieve these next goals of 20, 30, 10, 15, 100,000, whatever your number is. So we can anchor past success for the future so we can relive it in our mind first. So the goal and the opportunity here is to build your belief every single day. I do it through morning meditations. I do it through affirmations, declarations that I read over and over again. I feel and embody the success. And then when it happens, of course it's going to happen because I expect it to happen because I've relived it in my mind over and over again. And this process of decide, believe, expect, and I invite you to write that down, because when you write it down and then go back in your notes, it's going to anchor for you your decision on the income you want to make. The goal is to constantly keep that belief at 100%. The minute it slips off, we bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. It's like a pilot on autopilot. It gets off course, comes back. So our opportunity and our goal is to lead ourselves to 100% belief all the time. Maintain it every single day. And when you get pulled off track, we have to bring it back. That's leadership. Ultimately, you're going to expect it. The minute you expect it is when the magic happens. That's when that phone call comes out of the blue and a long-term client you haven't spoke to in a while says, hey, Jason, we just made the decision we want to sell our house. Can you come over and list the property? When those moments show up, that helps us anchor the expectation of our goals imagined, the work we're doing, the belief, building that, and then expecting the outcome to show up for us. And this is the magic. Often I say this is magical because it really is. When people or opportunities show up for you, just notice those synchronicities is the magic, and it builds the belief and the expectation mindset. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time on this rather than rushing through it, because this is literally the foundation. If we could do this and just imagine, this is how it all works. So our job every day is to work on us and our mindset. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour a day. Create your morning strategy. You start your day with this, watch what starts to happen. You're going to feel more confident. Your actions change, your energy changes. That energy is causes a reactive force, and you start to attract all your ideal clients to you. So how does this all tie into leadership? Number one is we have to lead ourselves first. And if we can't lead ourselves, then we're stuck. And I sense right now a lot of people are feeling stuck in this market because it is different. It's just different. It's not a good or bad market. It's just a different market than what we've had in the past. I love right now working with brand new realtors because they don't know any different. They're the ones that seem to be having great success right now because they are just stepping into this. They've had a goal achieved, and now they know why they're here and they're out there living and the reality of being that realtor on a daily basis. Not knowing where to start. Thank you. And I invite everyone to think about this. What's the biggest challenge you're facing when it comes to leading your business right now? And write down for yourself or type in the chat. Give me some perspective of where you're feeling right now. What's come up recently with people I've spoke to as you're thinking about it, doubtful on the interest rates, doubtful on the economy, world events. Like it's a crazy time we're in right now. Do you have enough clients? Your pipeline is shrinking. You had a bunch of people thinking of buying or selling, and then they vanished, and now you have nothing. So this is all tied into leadership because we need to be able to figure out how to lead our business forward. So knowing where to start, so much to do, not sure how to prioritize, where to get buyers, time. Loaded, loaded, loaded. There's so much in what you just shared there. So where do we start? Today's a perfect day because you're going to come out of today with some ideas on how do you move your leadership forward. Is if we can lead ourselves, make the decision, this is what we're going to do, and then work on the belief, work on strategy, you've got amazing leadership in your office to support you. They want to help you. They want you to succeed. You're going to be reaching out to them. You're going to be following others in the industry. You're going to be reading. You're going to be constantly doing things, but we need to know, what do we need to do as a leader? So now, for yourself, you looking, putting blinders on, not thinking about anyone else. Imagine you're walking into your main bathroom at home. You're looking in the mirror and you get to ask yourself this question. How would you rate your leadership skills in leading your real estate business in today's market? And again, write it down for yourself or type it in the chat if you're open to doing that. No attachment, and just go with a feeling. Don't overthink this. Whatever you feel is the answer for you. And what we're doing here is we're just getting a starting point. So we've made the decision where we're going. We have our income. Now we are clearing out things that are keeping us stuck, the blockages, the doubts. We have to release that because if we just keep piling more information without letting go of the things that are keeping us stuck, eventually it's overwhelming. We shut down, and then any new information is never applied. It's never implemented. So we just keep gathering information for information's sake. And that's what's a big challenge right now, causing overwhelm, I think, for a lot of people. We don't need to know more. We need to become more. So leadership scale right now, 6, 7, beautiful. Thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to help you break through and hopefully in the next half hour, raise your number. And you're going to do it by answering and working through some of these questions. So to deliver a consistent winning business, let's consider your capabilities as both a leader and a follower. And sometimes we don't think of leadership and attach it to being a follower at the same time. And the irony is because we live in the world of duality and polarities, there's opposites to everything. So if you're a great leader, then you're also a great follower. And maybe we spend a lot of time focused on one area and not the other. So where are you right now? That's the point here. So have you achieved your leadership lid? Have you achieved your leadership ceiling? Again, I'm going to be asking questions. I just want you to feel the question and let it sit, let it resonate. Leadership in yourself as a realtor is going to be what happens when you have achieved your income goals or hit a income ceiling. If you are feeling that you're stuck at an income level, that's an indication you've hit your leadership lid, you've hit your leadership capacity. Because if we want to get to that next level of income, we need to focus on first ourselves, our leadership, our mindset to help reprogram our beliefs and our subconscious thinking. And how do we do all that? So once we know what our lid is, look at your income last year, year before, notice patterns. Whatever your income was, and it doesn't matter, 100, 50, 250, million, whatever it was, that is your lid. That's your ceiling. So your current leadership is great. It's gotten you to that level. The question is, how do we get to that next level? We're going to divide leadership into two categories: following, followers, being an amazing follower, and being an incredible leader. But let's focus on following first, because following is something that, like I said, we don't often think about. But when we got into real estate, most of us were followers. We followed the office manager. We followed a mentor. We had somebody else maybe that was guiding us, somebody else that was coaching us. So we were following other people. Sometimes we get to a point where we've achieved what they've achieved, and then we stop following them, and we find somebody else to follow that we know is going to help us get to that next level. So as a leader, if we're not constantly working on our leadership skills, we hit a ceiling and we can never outperform our self-image, which is attached to our leadership. So thinking back when you first started, who is your mentor? Who is your guide? And now who are you following? Right now in your current business, based on the income that you want to make, who are you going to follow to help you achieve that? So for yourself, make a note. Who are you following right now? And it could be a coach like myself. It could be a mentor. It could be a team leader. It could be an owner. It could be somebody totally outside of real estate. But who are you following right now? And the beautiful part with the world we live in, so many options. YouTube, great books. Every time you read a book, you're following somebody's guidance, advice, life lessons. But make a note for yourself. Who are you following? Because at some point in time, we want to question the people we're following, because are they going to be the right people to help us get to where we want to go? Leaders. This is the second step to the whole leadership journey, understanding not only are we great followers, we're also great leaders. I feel and believe everybody is a leader. Everybody's leading themselves through life, working on achieving more success, getting to that next level. Leaders are people who have someone following them. So consider who you're leading right now. And this ties right into family, clients, coworkers, spouses, partners. Who's following you? And this is a moment in time where you get to think, okay, my clients right now, every one of you have real estate clients, real estate candidates, people you're talking to. When you're talking to them as a realtor, are you seeing yourself as a leader? Are you seeing yourself as a person that you are talking to this person to a point where you're hoping that they're going to trust you enough to follow your advice? And that's a pretty big ask in the real estate space, because here you are working with somebody. Most people in real estate, they're dealing with their most valuable investment ever. And we're asking people to follow us as leaders. So are you seeing yourself as a leader that has the ability to guide people? Often we do things very naturally. A lot of the lessons I've learned in life, I built on my natural entrepreneurial style skills. And I've constantly been building and growing. So the question is at this point now is how are you developing your leadership skills? So just make a note for yourself. How are you developing your leadership skills? Could be great books. Two leaders I love to follow is Simon Sinek and John Maxwell. I'll put out those names. If anyone else has a great leader that they're following, and it can be not just specific to real estate, it can be any leader in life. It could be a minister, a pastor, it could be a mentor of yours, a high school teacher. It's whatever. John Maxwell, absolutely. The intention here is we have to make sure we're learning and growing to our next level of leadership success, because we have natural abilities. That's an entrepreneurial style, but you will hit a ceiling. And if we want to get to that next level, we have to understand, we become aware and start looking for other people. And one of the easiest things to do is you look for people who have the success you want. So if somebody you know has this success that you're looking for, there's a strong probability they can guide you and lead you to that level. So the leadership journey that I've been on in my life is like a stair step. It's just like a staircase. Every time I want to get to the next level, I look around and I find somebody to support me and help me. What I love about coaching is coaching allows you to take sometimes 2, 3 steps quicker. So we don't have to do one at a time trying to figure it all out. And I did that for years. Ego got in the way and I was very determined to figure it all out myself and do it on my own. Never rarely asked for help. Was not a good follower. Thought I was, but I wasn't. Didn't like accountability. The minute I bought into accountability and understood that accountability is there for me, it allowed me to lead myself to that next level quicker, faster, and easier. Therefore, I could also lead others to that growth by developing myself first. So how are you developing your leadership skills? Books, audios. Yeah, it is very easy today until we get overwhelmed and we're not implementing. And this is where often less is more. We don't always need more information. We need to implement. Jason, we were talking about that, right? Just before the call, right? It's the implementation piece. We call that the knowing doing gap. And I deep down believe every single person on this call today knows exactly what they should be doing to get to the next level. And if you're not implementing, we're staying stuck. So we're caught in the gap. So we want to break free from that. And as a great leader, that's what we do. We focus on how to develop our leadership skills to break free from that. So back to the path. How do we get there? We're reflecting on your own journey. Your current income is a reflection of your current leadership. And we want to get to that next level. So we need to start surrounding ourselves with others and becoming more, not necessarily doing more. So what's the process? I'm going to be asking you a few questions right now, and I invite everyone to be writing down their answers for themselves. What vision are you creating as the leader for your real estate business? So we started the call with this. You had your income target, income goal for the next 90 days. That's where we're starting. So if we know the vision of our business is at that income level, then the question is, what do we do? Who do we have to become? So leaders think beyond where they are today. They're visionaries. They're looking in the future. What are your steps to move you forward? Vision drives your decisions. Without vision, we're just going in circles. We'll follow everybody. When you know where you're going, you start to say no to things and you'll say yes to anything that's going to get you or is in alignment to you achieving your goal. So clarity of where you're heading is vital. Strong leaders have strong visions. They often don't deviate. Because when you're clear on where you're going because it's what you want, others will see you as a leader because you're constantly moving in that direction. And your clients are looking for this now more than ever. They need strong leaders. I know every single person on this call is a leader because you showed up and you're investing time in yourself. That's leadership. The intention is you take what you learn and now apply it and share it with your clients by your actions of what you're doing and how you're guiding them. KW is a phenomenal training company. Every tool system, you don't need to go anywhere else. It's there. Are you implementing? And that's why mindset is so important and focusing on this leadership. So surrounding yourself with great leaders, great mentors is the next step forward. And ultimately, as a great leader, attraction versus chasing. Are you attracting business to you or are you constantly chasing it? As I've evolved and developed my leadership skills, I'm at a point in my life right now where I naturally attract everything I need. Ideas come to me. I get into action based on the intentions that I have to help me get to that next level. I'm here today. I reached out to Jason earlier this year, offered the opportunity, invited him and Maureen to be open to allowing me to come back and share some ideas. They said, yes, here I am. This is in 100% alignment, though, to the decision I made and how I see achieving my goals. Because I know if I can help and share ideas that support you, you're going to move forward. You have great leadership in the office. And if at any time in the future you're looking for somebody to follow as a leader to help you grow and build your business, then I always say I want to apply for the job. That's what I do. Ask yourself this. How do you answer this question? Do you have clarity on your vision? 100% clarity. So you wrote down the goal when I asked you. Now start to take that deeper. How do you see you getting there? What's your path? Start to notice. You probably already know the things to do. Are you doing what you know? This leads us to leadership development number 2. How would you describe your attitude, and do you maintain this regardless of outside circumstances? This is a big one today. This is where, when I hear the market is the problem, that's people that are relying on the outside environment and it's controlling their inner thoughts, inner beliefs, inner results. So, how do we flip that? We don't want to allow the market to control us. We want to create the market in our mind and then embody the identity of that realtor that's achieved the goals, and then find the market, find the motivated. This is a market that people are only going to move for their selfish personal reasons. Just like every market, people move for their reasons. We have to find the motivated. So our number one job today is just find people that are motivated to make the move in this market. This is an incredible market. Anybody that wants to upsize in this market, great opportunity. You want to buy investment properties, great opportunity. There's some deals out there right now that most people aren't even aware of how to get them. I have a strategy right now we're sharing in our coaching. Like, how do you help your clients buy properties 20% below market? If you knew how to do that, how many extra buyers could you bring to you? Leadership. We have to know where we're going and how we help people get there. So your attitude shapes your results. So if it's a doom and gloom, oh, the market's terrible, and you start noticing the words you say and the words you repeat, or somebody shares something about the market, is your next statement reinforcing what they've said, negative or positive? Or are you moving away if it's not in alignment to where you're going? You start to notice how you're showing up, because this is a big part of leadership and building consistent income. Is we have to protect our mind now more than ever. So your attitude, we call it PMA, your positive mental attitude. I see the good in everything because there has to be good in everything. It's called the law of polarity. If there's a positive, there's a negative. If there's an up, there's a down. There's a front, there's a back. It's universal laws, universal principles. So if this is a market where people buy and sell real estate, it can be really good or really bad. You decide. And I know this is true. I have clients right now who had their best year ever last year. And then there's other people that are telling me it's the worst year. I just got off the phone with somebody and slowest start in 23 years. So there's different actions that people are having because of the beliefs they have that are causing the results, all tied into leadership. Maintain your attitude. How is your attitude? Become aware of your attitude. And this flows right into our leadership development number 3. Consider what action steps you can put into place to be an effective, or to be a more effective leader. So what can you do for yourself right now that could be an action that would cause you to be a more effective leader? As I ask you that question, just let the answer permeate through you and write down or type in the chat for me. What is an action you could take right now and put into place, and it would cause you to be a more effective as a leader? For me right now, the first thing is my morning. My mornings are the only thing in the day that I protect. Nothing gets in the way. From when I get up, before I get out of bed, I visualize goal achieved. Calendar planning. Time management. I love that. And time management, I like to reframe that to activity management. We can't manage time, but we can manage activities in blocks of time. Monthly booking, forcing myself. Yeah, that's an interesting statement. I love that. I appreciate that, actually. In the beginning, it does feel like force. We're forcing ourselves to do things that are outside of our comfort zone. My mentor shared this quote, and it always comes back to me. It's amazing how great leaders show up long after the conversation or person is even around. The quote was this: I only have to do something until I want to do something, and then I don't have to anymore. And that helped me with the force. Because in the beginning, if I'm going to do anything that's outside of what I'm doing, that's probably outside of my comfort zone, I'm going to have to force myself or be open to the opportunity I have to become more. So instead of force, what's the opposite of force? Allow. How do I allow myself to have things happen? And what it does is it causes me to reframe the words I use. Even words you use, just start to become aware. As a leader, the words you use determine your mindset, determine your actions, determine your beliefs, even what's possible. So great leaders start to really become aware. That's a big part of emotional intelligence is overall awareness. Start to look for patterns. Everybody has patterns. Everybody's doing something that they're probably wishing they wouldn't be doing or they could change. Because you knew if you changed it, you'd have a different outcome. And here's one I'll throw out for everybody right now is this one simple activity right now that if you did this every day for the next 90 days, next 3 months, that's 60 work days. If you did this one activity, you would completely change your business this year. And this one activity, everybody knows it. And I'm curious how many are doing it consistently every day. The activity is 3 conversations a day. Minimum 3 conversations a day. You can set your number whatever you want it to be. 3 conversations a day, not text messages, not emails. I mean 3 heart-to-heart conversations a day. I have clients right now, I'm holding them accountable to 3 to 5. And they're like, oh, I could do more. Okay, let's do 3 to 5 and then build on the pattern. You do 3 to 5 a day in 90 days from now, every single person is going to hit the goal they've set. Because that's an activity that probably isn't built into a habit yet. And I know the KW world, I was a team leader. I was in Jason's role, right? So like, during Bold, we talk about 20 conversations a day, 20 conversations a day. And I think they've reframed that now. All great. And maybe some people did it during Bold, but the minute Bold's done, guess what? We go right back to our habits. So how do we maintain that is through leadership. Leaders make decisions and don't change them. How do we maintain that decision? We find accountability partners. You find somebody that's going to hold you to your standard to what you say you want because it's your selfish goal. And an accountability partner is going to check in and say, okay, I'm not going to criticize you. I'm just here to support you to make sure you maintain the goal. I have people I'm holding accountable to right now. You know what they do every day? At the end of the day, they text me, won the day. That's it. And I tell them right in the beginning, I'm not going to circle back and check in with you. You said you want your goal. Well, let's see how bad you want it. You text me at the end of the day, won the day, won the day, won the day. And then you start to build a habit. I have a number of them right now. We started in January, so we're 2 months in. Did everyone hit that? Did everyone win every day? No, it's okay. Start over. The book, The One Thing, right? Gary Keller talks about how many days does it take to form a habit? On average, 66. But that's just an average. Some habits change quick. Some take over 270 days. Some it's a lifetime of constant. I stopped drinking, well, 13 years ago. That's a constant habit every day to reinforce. I don't want to start over. So that overtook, I'm drinking. But we work on these habits every day. That's leadership. So start to notice how leadership shows up for you. And it shows up personally long before it shows up in business, but it translates into business. So as an effective leader, what's the action? And who do you need to become? So where do we go here? We started with leadership. We started with the idea, okay, here's where I want to go, created the vision. We brain dumped a little bit. We call that a mindset dump, mindset reset. We took the things out that are keeping us stuck, blocked, created space for new ideas. Then I started to plant this idea for everybody in your mind that you're a great leader and a great follower. We need to be both. You don't have one without the other. You're leading up to your capacity. The goal is then to redevelop and constantly develop your leadership by following others to help you get to that next level. Boom. And we do it by imagining success, the actor's method. Daniel Day-Lewis, the only actor to ever win 3 Academy Awards for Best Actor. He was nominated 6 times. The only actor in the history of the Academy Awards to win it 3 times. And you know what he did? He was a method actor. Method actors, what that means is he embodied the role. So when the director said action, he embodied the role, but he didn't stop in between when they were filming the movie. The entire time that he showed up to when that movie was finished, he was acting as if he was the character all throughout his experience. So if you met him offset or in around that movie, he was acting as if he was that person. He was 100% embodying the character. Take that idea. Are you embodying the realtor that you imagine yourself to be in the future? You're living it every day and you reinforce it every day. And if that is this action to help you move forward, you take that into now the strategy, you collapse time. Clients are attracted to you. You have so much business. Eventually, you probably have more business than you can handle. And this all starts with our mindset and leading ourselves first. Then I asked you some leadership questions to help you move forward. So back to the comment there, like, where do I start? Those 3 questions I asked are a great start because you've noticed the answers are within. Everybody had a different answer because we're all at different levels of leadership. But the answers you came up with are your first steps. Then what I would encourage you to do is reach out to your leadership and say, okay, here's how I want to develop my leadership and I want to build my business. And they will work on strategy with you and plan. We have to make sure we don't forget, embody the feeling, live from the goal, not to it. You attract who you are. Are you attracting the ideal client? Is your current client your ideal client? Are your current clients the ideal client? If they're not, get clear on who's the ideal client. Go back to decide, believe, expect. Decide on who your ideal client is. My ideal client is every single person that's on this call. You're investing your time, the most important, valuable asset you have in your life to be here today. It's my intention to show up for you to help implant seeds and ideas into your mind that will spark you to move forward. You do the exact same thing with the clients you have. You've attracted all of them. You want better, more, you want clients that are maybe different than you currently have, more aligned to who you are, get clear on your values, get clear on who you are as a person, and you'll start to notice you're going to attract them to you. It's easy to say no to people that aren't in alignment. But just understand, you lead yourself first by knowing that you attract who you are. We all do this. The question is, were we even aware that we're doing it? And sometimes people show up or events show up and you wonder, okay, how did that happen? How did I attract that? We don't have to overanalyze anything. We just understand it showed up for us. So now we need to move forward. How do I lead myself out of this situation? All right, let me bring everyone back to where we started. At the beginning of the journey, I asked you on a scale of 1 to 10 to rate yourself. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, having gone through this process, how would you rate your attitude toward leading your real estate business in today's market? Feel whatever number comes to you and write it down or type it in the chat for me. And what we're doing is we want to reflect. So we leveled the foundation. Now we said, okay, where am I now? And the goal is to constantly be moving forward. And sometimes I've had people say, well, I actually feel worse now. It's okay. Maybe there's some clearing that has to happen. But wherever you are right now, just understand this. In a short period of time, you've been able to adapt and move forward. I love that. Eights. You're moving yourself forward. And that's what it is. You're doing this. You've provided the opportunity, given me some space to share some ideas. You're making these decisions. So the goal is now constant, never-ending improvement. How do we constantly move ourselves forward? And as we ask ourselves these questions, you're going to constantly be able to reflect on, where am I? Where do I want to go? Who do I need to become? There's the decision. Work on your belief. And anytime you get pulled off track with doubt, market, people tell you anything, it's either pulling you to the goal or pulling you away from the goal. Your number one, second responsibility is, after decision, is get clear on, you have to protect your belief. That's your responsibility as a leader. Your leaders that you're following will help you stay on track. And then the minute the belief is 100%, magic happens. That's when the expectation. So I expect to achieve my goals. Just how life is, I expect to achieve them. Do I achieve every goal in the time frame I've set? No. I achieve all my goals. So maybe I need a little extra time. Maybe I need to grow a bit more. Maybe I need to develop my skill set a bit more. So I give myself some space. But in that time that I've set for myself, I'm going to do everything and become the person and just focus on being the best I can be every day, which means showing up, getting up early, doing my routine, doing my lead generation, having my 3 conversations a day. I do exactly what I preach. And I focus on reflecting every night. How did I do? Again, this comes out of a module or program that we have called the Repeatable Revenue Roadmap. And it's a process that was created through my lifelong experience, all my mentors and coaches that I've had over the years, and the life I've lived, to help me reframe my mindset. So I'm constantly growing and moving forward. And Jason, I'll be happy to share this, or if anybody's interested, you can just find me on LinkedIn, find me on Instagram, BeDoHave Movement, and I'm happy to go through this with everybody if you're interested. And it's a beautiful part I love about this. It's rinse and repeat. As I teach it, I live it. And every time I teach a part of the program, every module, every week, I now realize what I'm not doing and what I need to step into that week. So it's a process. I wish it was a one and done and boom, that's life changes, but we have to reprogram our thinking and reprogram our beliefs. So to attract your ideal client, who do you need to become? I'd like to impress upon you that idea that you attract who you are. So the journey is, who do you need to become? How do you get to that next level of leadership? And as you do this, you start to notice consistent revenue. That's the whole piece and parcel to all of this, is how do we develop our leadership, embody that behavior, attract our ideal client. So ultimately, we're creating consistency in our business. And all this is possible now because the market doesn't mean anything, because you create the market. So if you believe it's going to be your best year ever, you're basically 90% on the way there. And I'll say 90%, it's probably even more, because if there's doubt that it won't be, then it won't be. But if it was your best year ever, who would you be every day? How would you show up every day? What would you be doing every day? The energy of you showing up, knowing that, is the magnetic attraction to your ideal client. I'd like to invite whoever's interested to a free coaching session. I'm waiving the fee for this. It's a 30-minute session. I'll build off of this, or we'll get really clear in 30 minutes to help you decide, believe, and expect. That's how I frame those sessions. It's a strategic coaching session. I normally charge $147 for that, and I'm going to waive that, Jason and Maureen. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and to serve your people. I'm going to waive that as my gift for you today. And feel free to connect with me on Instagram at the BeDoHave Movement and on LinkedIn. And I have a question for you, because as a bonus for everybody that does book a call, you'll get access to our brand new, we haven't released this publicly yet, our LinkedIn cheat sheet. Who's using LinkedIn right now in your business, and are you generating leads or business from LinkedIn? If you give me a yes or no in the chat. And as I asked that, here's what led me to this, is my Instagram and Facebook were hacked a year and a half ago. I lost 8,000 connections. No way of getting it back. Facebook, forget dealing with Meta. It was gone. It was gone. It was actually Father's Day. And when that happened, it was devastating in the moment. What I realized in my life is everything happens for a reason. So I dwelled in it for 48 hours. And then Jacqueline and I were having some conversations and realized, okay, this is happening for me, although I had no idea why. And it was happening for me. And what it was now in hindsight, I can look back and say it allowed me to focus on LinkedIn. So in the last year and a half, I started from zero and I've now built a profile with over 6,000 followers, over 5,400 connections. 60% of our business last year came from what we're doing on LinkedIn. And I've realized through a lot of conversations, there is a massive missed opportunity here for realtors. They're either posting once in a while or they're having somebody post. They're not generating any leads and specifically no business. So if that is something that you're interested in, book a call with me and I'll give you our cheat sheet because it starts with your profile. And check me out on LinkedIn. You can see for yourself. We're very active. I post every day and everything I do is targeted to my ideal client, which is the realtor who wants to build and grow develop their business. Yeah, Jason, it's funny, right? I use it, but not at the level I should. Most realtors know that and they know it. They deep down know it and they don't know where to start, like I did. So we went through a journey. We went through a journey, realized it's not Facebook, it's not Instagram, not that. It's a networking opportunity. LinkedIn is so valuable and it's certainly right now a missed opportunity. So I'm going to invite anyone that books a call, you'll get a copy of that. And I want to thank you for this opportunity. I'd love to hear, I'm going to turn this off. I have a couple extra minutes here. Any questions that you may have? I'd love to support you any way I can. Oh, there's the lower of the hand. I saw that, but there we go. Are there any questions that you may have around leadership that you might be feeling stuck on? First thing. Number two, was today valuable? What did you hear today that helped you think about leadership from a different perspective? My goal is to change your thinking. That's what I feel a great leader is. A great leader causes somebody to think different. So that's my number one goal. And feel free to unmute yourself if you can. I'm going to open this up right now for anybody that may want to share.
I'm just going to jump in and kind of discuss the point. I'm glad you're using the term leader because if there's one thing I've noticed in my conversations with agents in the market is that a lot of them are basing what they're doing off what they see other people doing, and they're not being the leader of their business. They are following what other people are saying, and it's leading them to be unhappy with the development of their business or the trajectory. Where if we own it and we know exactly what we want and we're realistic and honest about it, there's a way to be happy with it without looking at anybody else's production.
That's so valuable. What you just shared, Jason. I think we live in a world, well, we live in a world that's what we do, right? We're doing this. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's looking at somebody else. I think the person right now, the only person we all need to focus on is ourselves. And that's being honest and reflecting, looking in the mirror and just really deciding, okay, who do you need to become? Everybody's going to do business a different way. But we all know there's one way that really excites us, that if we just did that one thing all the time, you're going to have more fun and you're going to have more money. One of our mantras this year with our clients is the more fun I have, the more income I make. And I write that one down. If that resonates with anybody, the more fun I have, the more income I make. In order to do that, leadership is key. So how do you do that? Get clear around what do you love to do and have fun. I was coaching a real estate office 2 months ago, and one person said, well, we love to boat. We went through a bit of a conversation, and how do you boat every weekend and generate all the business leads you need? It came up with a strategy from what she loves to do. And that's what the plan is for this coming spring is entire business done and built around what she loves to do. So you're right, Jason. We need to put on blinders, and I think we just need to really get clear on individually what is it we're going to do to generate our business, and then who do we have to become?
I do have a question.
Sure, go for it.
If you could go back to your first year as an agent, um, what would you tell yourself now? I guess from your lens that you're in right now.
Charlie, how many years have you been in real estate?
2.5.
Perfect. If I'm 40 this year, so to go back to my first year, I would actually relive it because what I did, I started in July, got my license, started in August, September, October. 2 months in, I realized I had no idea what I was doing, so I hired a coach. Because I made that decision, my business exploded. My first year in 1986, I made $125,000. 125,086 is not 125,000 today. It was more money than anybody in my family had ever made. So hire a coach, have a mentor, have somebody that's going to see more in you than you see in yourself, because that's going to help you break free from beliefs that might be keeping you stuck. So first thing is mindset. That's what coaching does is it helps shift our mindset. Going back to the activity, can I ask you a question? How are you generating your business right now? 2.5 years in, how are you generating most of your business?
So I'm in a unique situation. So I also work as a admin in real estate.
Mhm.
But when I first started, I started as an admin, so I was just helping. It was nice for that agent for me to be licensed so I could give out lockbox codes and, and
Yep. Yeah. All the
um
legal
and
reasons.
yeah. So but then it just started, it was mostly referrals. So I would help my first clients were friends and family, and then they would refer to me. And then I became more comfortable with working with people I didn't know or guiding people I didn't know and trusting me.
Your personality, S personality.
Oh, I have no
Eh,
idea.
Okay. SI, if you started in admin, you like supporting, like helping people, right?
Yes, yeah, and organized and
Okay.
yeah.
So probably an SC personality. Let me ask you this. What do you love to do? If you could do anything in real estate and you just knew because you expected that activity would generate all the money you needed to make, putting all that aside, what do you love to do?
I just like talking to people. I like spending time with people. Like
What do you like to do for fun?
oh God, I'm boring. Oh my God, I'm so boring. I do nothing. I've been in school for so long, you have no idea. I also worked when I was in school, so I don't really have much. I spend time with friends and family and hang out with my cat, and I like to be at home.
Okay, friends, family. I would invite you just let that permeate. If you could do anything and have fun doing it, what would you do? You don't have to answer right now. Just let that permeate. And then I heard you say friends and family. So it's network,
Mhm.
personal network.
Yeah.
How
Yep.
many people are in your if you do you have your phone with you?
Yep.
iPhone?
Yep.
Scroll, open your contacts, scroll to the bottom. Tell me how many contacts you have in your phone.
598.
598. Okay. In that 598, 20% of those people are probably pretty close to ideal clients, people you love to be around, have fun with, you
For sure.
socialize with, right? For sure. Okay. So we're going to create a strategy for you, and I think everyone will get the benefit from this. So 598 times zero point 0.2, 119 people. Point two,
Yep.
119.6. We have 120 people.
Yep.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Those are your ideal people you love to hang out with, you love to have fun. 120 divided by 20, 40, 60, 2. 2 conversations a day for the next 3 months.
Hmm.
Now you're a top producer. I'm going to up that with you. Can we do 3? Goes back to the 3 conversations a day. So now you reach out and connect to 3 people every day and have a conversation. that activity, just being you, there's no pressure in this. You're calling, connecting, finding out how you can help them. You serve with a servant heart. And I'll give you a text that I encourage you to do. This is what we're using with our clients right now. Simple text, doesn't take long. Don't change it. Because when we change it, that's when it throws it off course. Text is this. Hi, Charlie. I was just thinking of you. How are you?
Hmm.
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Because you might have to text 15, 20 people to set up 3 conversations. What you do is every day you do that text, and then you start to fill your calendar. So now all of a sudden, you're going to start to notice over the next week, you're going to have appointments lined up, conversations booked in your calendar. Those conversations are a check-in. I'm just checking in. How are you doing? This goes back to the podcast yesterday. People are feeling very disconnected right now. Let's connect. And let me ask you this. Here's evidence. For everyone that's on this call, when's the last time somebody reached out to you and said, hey, I was just thinking of you. How are you?
Yeah, that's really nice.
That's easy. That's comfortable. And any personality can do it.
Hmm.
The CIS personalities can do it because it's easy and it flows. The D
Hmm.
personalities, the drivers, they're like, I want to change it. I want more, right? They're the ones that struggle the most with this. And yet it's all about connection. People want to feel connected. For all of you that are here, okay, this is an interesting market, right? It's different. Most people today, would you agree, are not having their best year ever, financially, emotionally, socially. Would you agree with that? So as a result of that, we're not feeling connected. So if we're feeling that in this group, and I think we have 8, 9 on the call, what about our clients? What are our clients feeling right now? So
Hmm.
your job as a leader is to reach out and see how are you feeling? How are you doing? And just let the conversation flow because it always comes to real estate. How's that feel?
Yeah, I really like that.
Good. I invite
It's just
everybody.
easy. It's so easy to just send a text. It's
And here's how we transition the text because here's the slippery slope. We don't want to get into a conversation via text. We want to get on the phone. So
Mhm.
how do we get from a text to a call? Right? So they're going to reply and then, oh, I'd love to actually have a conversation with you. When's a good time we could connect? What would work best for you? Tomorrow at 4 or or Wednesday at 9? Right? And now you're setting up your schedule to have conversations. It doesn't feel like real estate, but it's everything to do with real estate. Is real estate comes out of every conversation. And what comes out of every conversation? What are they going to ask you? What do people ask you as a realtor? What's the question that everybody will ask at some point?
How's the market?
There right?
You're like, ugh, this again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So
anyway.
now we have to frame how's the market? And that's a great conversation. Okay. Well, it depends. Are you buying or selling? Right? KW has all the scripts, but the reality is connect with it. Why do you ask? Depends if you're buying or selling. This is a great market to upgrade. Actually, it's the best it's been in over 40 years. Like, frame it. This is the market to upgrade. This is the market to get a good deal. There's great deals on the market right now. I would text, I'm going to keep throwing some ideas if anyone's interested. Listen to some of these. I would text if you have a list of online leads or you have a database full of people that you haven't talked to in a while. I would email everybody with this simple question. If I found a property 20% below market value, would you want to hear about it? That's it. Send it out. Watch who raises their hand. I had a client do that, sent it out to 600 people. 6 said yes. She booked 6 conversations, 4 buyer agreements signed, actively working with 4 buyers in this market. 2 weeks before doing that, she had no buyers. Pretty simple, right? We're leading our clients to the next step. What do buyers want? They want a deal. Here's what I know what sellers want. I would do the same thing. If your database is really a strong database and you've labeled and tagged people, you know who the buyers are, you know who owns a house. You could send an email to all your sellers or all your current clients that own properties. Except this time we're targeting seller business. If I could show you if I could show you how to sell your property for more than market value, would you want to hear about it? Send it out and watch what happens. I wouldn't reply to that because I'm not thinking of selling. If somebody's thinking of selling, it might trigger them to say yes, especially when they know you. You can literally find business this week with those 2 emails that you didn't even know you had in front of you. How did we get on that topic? Charlie, I think you got us here. So thank you for asking the question.
Yeah. I asked, what would you do in your first year? And then if you could go back, yeah.
Coaching, and I would take those 2 things and just start with that. And I took your conversation to make it specific about you to find out where you are so I could get on your page and then guide you to what would resonate with you because it's a very open-ended question, right? But I think the answer probably supported everybody with some ideas. Thank you for asking. Well, I appreciate everybody, and thank you for the opportunity to be here, Jason, again. Thank you. And Maureen, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And jamiepurvis.com, book a 30-minute call. I'm happy to support you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamie.
My pleasure, everyone.
Great.
Have a magical day. And Jason, give me, I'll get this over to you. We'll clean it up and I'll get it over to you.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Have a
My
great day.
pleasure, everyone. Have a magical day. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye now.